What's going on? What's going on, people? Boy, Tony G. Tony Guns back at y'all with another one. First order of business is and always is building leaders and creating kings operation by building national development over generations. But then the second order of business that I want to speak on is it's important that we get straight to this and put the bottom line up front. We encounter in our lives, we encounter loss. And loss is necessary. Regardless of, like how we look at it, how we perceive it, where it may come, in which form it may come, loss is necessary. Even so much so in death, the individuals that we lose in death, it's necessary. It's unfortunate, but it's necessary. It's necessary so that life goes on. And granted, that's a hard pill to swallow for an individual that lost his loved one to an untimely demise by a murderer or something of that nature. But again, it doesn't take away the fact, even though it's a hard pill to swallow, that it's necessary. And that's tough to deal with, tough to even try to interpret. But that's not what we're talking about. We're not talking about loss of life. We're talking about the loss of individuals in our lives that are still living and how necessary that is. Oftentimes you hear about people communicate and talk about how, they lose people, friends and family members or associates. They lose different individuals in their lives and how it impacted them. Some, it impacted them negatively. Others, it impacted them in a positive manner. The thing that I would suggest you do is, outside of how it impacted you and how you felt about it, take the time to really question yourself on what role did you play in that loss? That's the question. That's the question that has to be asked, You have to be real with yourself and what role did you play in that loss? Because in those losses, the reason for those losses is level changes. When you start losing folk in life, it's because you've encountered level changes. You've encountered a time or you've reached a crossroad in your life where levels have been changed. And the question that you have to ask yourself and be serious about it, seriously want the answer to is, have you been the one that upgraded? Have you been the one that leveled up? Have you been the one that has made those changes? Have you been the one that is doing the leaving? Are you the individual that has made that change in life that, for whatever the reason, those individuals that you felt as if you lost, they couldn't make it there? Are you that person? Or are you the individual that, unfortunately, have been left behind? Have been left behind because you forced to adopt the responsibility, the courage, and the intelligence to level up. You want to be that same old G, same old person, as opposed to making the alterations to your life that enables you to take yourself and the individuals that rely on you to another level, to a higher level, to a greater level, to a level that's more sustainable for your well-being as well as theirs. Are you that individual? And then asking yourself that question, you think about upgrades and what it means to upgrade, what it looks like to upgrade, what it looks like for your family life as they know it to be upgraded in a more positive direction. And are you the pilot in that flight? Are you the pilot in that upward mobility, in that upward flight? Are you the pilot in that seat? Are you the one providing protection? Or are you the uncomfortable? Are you the comfortable, unnecessary comfort zone for somebody? Are you the unnecessary comfort zone for somebody? Because oftentimes we get caught in, wooed into these positions of comfort where we feel comfortable. We're complacent with where we are. We're comfortable with where we are. You ever heard that the devil. I'd rather deal with the devil I know than the devil I don't. Well, that's people that's afraid of those next levels, because different levels, different devils. If we've always heard that terminology. So the thing is, why aren't you? What is it that you're afraid of? It's that comfort zone. And oftentimes people stay with you because they're comfortable in that comfort zone. They're comfortable in that comfort zone. Why wouldn't you challenge yourself to be that uncomfortable but necessary? Surge forward, providing protection, providing progress, and prevailing in the discomfort, providing the necessary change in the discomfort. We get too comfortable with sticking to those same places, sticking to those same people. We hate to lose individuals. We hate to see the loss of those individuals because we become comfortable with them, because they share some of the same habits that we have. They adopt some of the same thought process, some of the same, we have kindred spirits of, what you hear oftentimes. But if that is truly necessary for your growth, then you wouldn't have to lose those individuals. You lose those individuals, you lose the things, and you share the things that are necessary for growth. You share the things that are necessary for growth. Any and everything in life. Any and everything in life. Every life form shares different things, different organisms, in order for them to grow. You shed it in the same manner that a dog sheds its hair, that we shed skin, that snakes shed skin. It enables them to grow. It enables their bodies and their spirits to be revitalized. It's no different from us. Become a new version of yourself. Never get comfortable with being what you used to. Never get used to being what you used to be. Always look for that change. Oftentimes you hear people preach the need for change and reformation, but then do very little to change and reform themselves. Where does that get you? Where does that get your family? How does that make you stronger? Adopt the responsibility. Adopt the responsibility towards becoming something better, something stronger, something greater for your family, for your community. Adopt the responsibility of becoming something greater to the young man next to you, or the young man above you, or the young man or woman below you. Those individuals that truly need you. Those individuals that truly desire to see something powerful in their lives. Those individuals that need those strong and those capable men that serves as role models for them. Whether we choose to be a role model or not, we can stand up and stand out. That's the thing that we need to show to our young men and women that are coming up behind us. But I speak more so towards the men, the young men. And not even, listen, they don't always have to be young. They could also be older guys. Because guess what? I serve as a role model for so many on so many different levels. Because of the service that I provide. And the service that I provide isn't actual business. Or that's not what I'm speaking in reference to. It's that I give myself, so much of myself, to see the individuals around me be better. I demand that men that are around me be just that, men, nothing less than it. And for whatever reason you prove yourself to be less than a man, then it's easy to see that our relationship really won't move forward. To some of you, I love you. I got love for you. To some, I don't care anything about. So be it. As a matter of fact, farewell and good riddance. It's one of those situations that we deal with in order for us to be better. We have to deal with those uncomfortable but necessary situations. We have to constantly put ourselves in those uncomfortable but necessary situations. That requires growth. That requires grit. That requires you to do man shit. Live strong or die weak. Ain't no pressure. Let that dog out.